Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I Am Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, Godzilla movies, and many other things I find to be in the same realm of business and creative ventures that are, in my view, really cool. You know what's also really cool? My Patreon supporters. So please do check them out in the description box below. And thank you so much to each and every one of you who continue to support I'm Gaming Podcast on Patreon month in and month out. I really cannot underline how much I appreciate each and every one of your donations. So a big thanks to all of you, and once again I'm truly grateful. This is episode 234 of I'm Gaming Podcast, and it's all about the big guy from the depths of Japanese ocean, and that's Godzilla. More precisely, Godzilla Minus One, the latest film in the movie franchise, which came out in 2023 and was made completely in Japan by a director called Takashi Yamazaki. And I have to say that I had really low expectations of the film. I didn't even know what's it all about. I didn't watch any trailers, which is something I recommend to everyone more or less in the recent period, let's say last 5 years. Sometimes it pays off not to watch any trailers or know what a movie is about, because the payoff from actually watching the same film can be a lot bigger. In this case, I was blown away by Godzilla Minus One. I truly was, because it's a film like no other I saw previously, because it's in equal part a war or post-war drama set in Japan after World War II and a monster movie, a Kaiju movie basically. And it manages to blend these two in a perfect seamless way that is again completely new to me, and something that I never thought could be possible in this kind of shape and form, especially in this format, because Godzilla is a pretty developed and well-known franchise. But it checks several boxes that alone would be really cool movies, like a Kaiju movie in 1947 would be awesome, but post-war drama in Japan would be awesome on their own, but it manages to bring them together and it functions really well. That's why I was skeptical at first, but then really amazed by it, because it starts off following a single individual, a young pilot who is called Koichi more precisely, who is a kamikaze pilot but decides not to carry out his mission and instead lands on a small island. There, quickly after, the first attack of Godzilla happens, which is at that point still kind of a monster from the depths of the ocean that survived the period since the ancient times, but still something that is made by nature, let's call it like that. But soon after, it's exposed to radiation and becomes something much bigger and something much more terrible. All the while, Koichi goes back to Japan, which is devastated after World War II, and tries to build up his life again to a point, still driven mad by guilt and uncertainty, finds something of a wife, even though she doesn't become his wife, and they find a child, which is an orphan, and they kind of create this weird family that is trying to survive, stick together, and overcome the difficulties of regular post-World War II life in Japan. At the same time, Godzilla is kind of getting mutated in the depths of the ocean and becoming a terrible future threat to Japan, which then materializes like 2 years later. And here is the kind of gist of the movie. The basic thing that happens is in that, let's call it, final 60% of the film, even though the first part is just as amazing, interesting and exciting. What I really found interesting is the fact that Japanese culture, at least internationally, as far as I know, doesn't often deal with the fallout of World War II, not meaning literal fallout from the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but actually the remnant of the militant society that kind of pushed Japan into this bloody conflict even before World War II formally started in the 40s with the invasion of Japan, Japan's invasion of China and so forth. So it's, I'm guessing, still a kind of a divisive topic in Japan, something that's culturally not often looked into, but this film does it exactly in that shape and form, and that's really cool because it kind of tackles an important issue, important topic in a really head-on manner. In the movie, there are also kind of discussions about the role of the military in Japan, what civil society can do kind of to protect itself, and the way the film approaches Godzilla as a form of an enemy to Japanese people and the society and the city and the state is interesting, because it also weighs that problem of kind of having that military that becomes a beast on its own and a big threat to Japan, which actually happened in the real World War II. So all of these topics, all of these elements are blended together, while at the same time it's just a really good kaiju monster film with a lot of action, a lot of drama, tension, amazing effects, and it's all there, it's all working, it's all blended seamlessly, and I'm truly really stunned by the fact that something like this can be created in such a low-key environment. Of course, the film had a big budget and it's expensive, but it hasn't been hyped up, it hasn't provided huge marketing machine that was building that hype years before it came out and stuff like that. Instead, it just came out and it's amazing. It's probably one of the best films I watched in the last, let's say, 12 months for sure. So it's a huge, enormous recommendation for anyone who likes these topics, especially if you even like sci-fi. It's a form of like a retro sci-fi film without actually being sci-fi, apart from the fact that it has a monster in it. All of that is there, all of that is working together in a strong, substantial, impressive manner, and I have to say that you should watch it by all means. It's an awesome film. So there you have it, this was a review episode. Hopefully you found it useful and interesting. Hopefully you get to see Godzilla. If you do, please let me know what you think about the film in the description below, or if you watched it already, please let me know. I would love to hear more about other people's opinion of the film, because it didn't get that much attention, at least in my home continent of Europe and generally in Western media. So I think that it should get a lot more attention. It deserves it. So I would love to hear what you think about it, and yeah, use the comment section to let me know. Of course, if you'd like to support me, there is a bunch of ways how you can do that, and these include, of course, becoming a Patreon supporter, but also checking out my books on Amazon, link is in the description below, or simply subscribing to my channel and having me around in your YouTube feed in the coming weeks, months, years, and watching my videos. So yeah, thank you for considering that. Thank you for getting the opportunity and using the opportunity to subscribe to my channel and be here for my new videos. That's all for me. Thank you once again for being here. Please check out Godzilla Minus One. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you in precisely 7 days from now in the new episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. That's all for me. My name is Ivica. Thanks again for being on my channel and watching this. Have a great day, and bye bye.